Well, hello. I pray that this breakfast, Parachurch and House Church, uh, will help you. My God, I'm just so overwhelmed with what Holy Spirit has been speaking to me in regards to this part two of the 16 ruling spirits that I've given you already. Now, part two is part one, then part two. Now, I really just want to talk to you. I'm led to share with you this message in regarding to the issues that we're dealing with right in the middle of the church in your ministry, and many don't pay it attention, but it's very, very prevalent today, and that is, you can see there in the title, the Absalom ruling spirit, okay? And I want to talk to you about protecting your assignment, because many of us are in the assignment, but yet we're not protecting it because we fear, for whatever reason, that, maybe the person that has this Absalom spirit, remember, this is a spirit, so it can be a male or female that operates out of this Absalom type of mentality, because many a times those who are operating out of this spirit, these characteristics that I talked to you earlier on, these principalities and stuff like that are coming, they have their own unique characteristic. And so the Absalom spirit, before I get into the full teaching of that, I'll do that later on, I pray, but, as my time permits. But it's very camouflaged. One of the things that I see about this spirit is very irrational. It keeps secrets. And a lot of these spirits, they think that the people that are leading them are very incompetent, that they know more than them. And some of those type of characteristics are very, very narcissistic, as we know, or Jezebelic. But it's rooted in very type of a control mentality where they have this type of hidden revenge, or, they just rebel against authority. They just kick against it, period. But they're very, very exaggerated when it comes to trying to say that what the leader is doing, they're not on the same page, or you sure this is what God is telling you to do. They like to always challenge. And so I'm not going to get into a lot, but we know that this is one that is after your assignment. This is one that's trying to uproot or to try to send some type of breaking in whatever God has told you to do. This spirit also is very deep-seated and deep-rooted when it comes to trying to get people to come over on their side, or get them to believe that what they're doing is right and the leader is wrong, or the leader is moving in error. And so I want you to pay attention to some things that I want to share with you. I'm not going to get into the full teaching, like I said, now on the Absalom, but I am going to come back with that later and talk to you about it. We want to talk about right now in protecting your assignment. Because many of the leaders today who are moving in ministry, and as I said over and over again, I want to make sure I get my disclaimer. I don't, declare that I know everything, but I think that at least 40 years and dealing with people that's up close and personal with me even now that I can see in the spirit, that move in Absalom or Jezebelic and so on, and then they call it that, yes, that's who you are. That's because they don't understand, or they refuse to deal with people who are order, who are seeking to make sure that they are moving and flowing in kingdom order, not that that's what they want. And people don't believe in the order. They believe in religiosity. They believe in what they want. But we got to protect our assignments. We got to make sure that we look at this part two, as I'm talking about the Absalom ruling spirits. And I'm going to give you 2 Corinthians 5:20 and 21. It says, "Now then we are ambassadors for Christ, as through God did beseech you by us. We pray you in Christ's stead, be ye reconciled to God. For he hath made him to be sin for us, who knew no sin, that we might be made the righteousness of God in him." So what is the ambassador then, Sandy? What is that? So how does this relate to making sure we protect the assignment from the Absalom ruling spirit? Well, we know that if we're made as the righteousness of God, that is, we have his character, right, then we are representatives. And as an ambassador, this ambassador word, this means that we're a governing diplomat, okay, just as in the natural, so it is in the spirit. So a governing diplomat in the spirit is someone who is compassionate. This is not where this spirit lies. This spirit lies with a lot of bitterness and a lot of unforgiveness and a lot of what we call church hurts. But, this governing diplomat in the spirit realm and the love of God, they're humble. They maintain a state of integrity, and they're gracious, they're polite, and they're thoughtful, and they can discern. That's very, very key. They can discern, and they're very tactful people. They're spiritually and intellectually capable. I talk about that over and over again, about the capacity. They are capable. They're strategic. They're wise. And we've been talking about the strategy. They have wisdom. They're diligent, and they're steady. Yes, they are. They don't care, like even now that I have a need. I don't care what's going on. I'm steady. My eyes are on the mark, Sunday, for the high calling, and I don't believe the devil. I believe God. So I'm very diligent, and you should be very diligent. You should be very steady. These type who are ambassadors, they seek to maintain a balance. When I'm saying a balance, that means a balance between spiritual and natural. Now, I don't know if I'm going to get through this whole message on part 2 right now, but I want to make sure I give you a thrust of this, and we'll come back with part 3 next week, but if necessary. But between the spiritual and the natural, these people, they know how to balance. They have common sense. They're not so spiritual, they're no earthly good, but they have common sense, common wisdom. They know how to deal with the things of the natural and the deeds, and to look to see what God is having them to do in the natural. And they have the ability to get along and serve, unconditionally with all kinds of people. They know how to be and become, my God. They know how to look at somebody who is dealing with or challenged with their sexual identity, and know how to look at someone that they know that God has shown them that these people have a perverted spirit or whatever, and they know how to love that hell out of them. They know how to, walk with them through this challenge. Lord, I want to preach. Anyway, as an ambassador for Christ, just as Jesus was destined to this unconditional love and to serve others, so we should be. Believe it or not, somebody's in need of what God's put on your life. We talked about that today in my women's gifts class. We're on that gifts, plural, of healing. We need to understand that God has spiritually qualified us to solve something for somebody. He wants to use us. He is the ultimate. He's going to use you, though. He wants to use you for this issue. This person might be going through. And this person who you are sent to by the power of the Holy Spirit, before we can even conceive in our mindset of how God is going to use us, we need to be remembering that before we've even conceived in our mother's womb, God had already strategically purposed our predestined assignment. Now this predestined assignment is what the devil is after. I don't want to preach. I'm trying to slow it down because I've been challenged here. So I got to slow it down. And okay, here we go. And so this assignment, okay. See, Absalom knows that the anointing on your life is to raise up, to create disciples, and the ultimate goal is to come in the midst of the church, to get on the altar, to pray with people, to build their own little churches and set the vision, and to make it look like they're so prophetic and anointed. The assignment is to remove you, to make you look as though you're not the one that God has really appointed them to, and that they have need of them. They had need of that sound. We're going to talk about the sound a little bit later on for kingdom sound, and that's what a whole lot of people are missing, the kingdom sound. But the assignment is not a vainglory idea or decision, but a spiritual journey is what it is. It's to discover daily what your divine purpose is right here on earth. And this is why I'm doing this gift class. Many of the people do not understand their divine assignment. I thank God that I finally got to the point of where I am in this particular dimension of my divine assignment. I know that, but there are many, many levels and many, many places that Daddy would take you, that he will move you from glory to glory. So don't think that you've arrived once you've gotten something so down and you so anointed. But to spiritually connect to this assignment, there must be a sacrificial offering. And one of the things that we have many people moving and saying they're doing things, they have not sacrificed their whole body. God is jealous God, and he will always require us giving our best. That means we got to die to our flesh completely. And I believe that that's one of the reasons why I made a decision, because I tell people, it's good, God adores marriage and all that, and I'll obey him if he tells me to marry somebody. But right now, I've asked him, he said, you give me the desire of my heart, and my desire is that I leave here unmarried. I want to be single. I want to serve you. I want to be able to talk to people from, without me being reserved from my spouse saying, don't say that, don't say this, and this and that. I want to make sure that what I'm saying, that Daddy God is ordering me to say, I'm not hindered. I want to make sure, like Paul, I want to make sure that everything I give is going to be the thrust to be able to pull the yoke off. I don't want to preach it, but there will be some people, some families, some material things that will have us to forsake, that God will have us to forsake, along with the sins that so easily beset us. We forget about those things that so easily beset us, the lying, the cheating, the hating, your mouth talking negative, the doubt and the unbelief that come out of our own mouths. So, therefore, we must lay our flesh on the altar daily. This is why we have to find time to talk to Daddy God alone. You cannot just have all the TV and the radio and the phone going and, you're clicking on these social networks. You're going to have to find the time to say, I don't want to see nothing. I just want to talk to you, Daddy. I need to understand this. So that must be a breaking. My God. That must be a renewing of the inner man to develop this obedience in your heart to know the will of God day by day. Every day ain't going to be the same. I know those who are seasoned know what I'm talking about. But God longs for, and he responds to this pursuit. He longs for you chasing after him. He longs for your mind getting up like that old hymn says. I got up this morning with my mind staying on Jesus. Yeah, we got to get up with our mind on Jesus. Not about who hated you at work. Not about who got on your nerves at church. Not about what your spouse has said, or you still dealing with what, feeling inferior, feeling, that they cheated on you or this or that, or your money ain't right. I don't want to preach. My God. But he longs for us to pursue him in worship and prayer so he can direct us to develop a divine connection. We must become addicted to his presence. I don't want to, we're coming so addicted that I'm looking for you. I'm chasing after you. All I know is I need this, so I know you are able. Sunday. So I'm coming to the way maker. I don't want to preach. For what? His presence gives us the fullness of joy, even in the midst of the hell, right? And even in Isaiah 21, I'm just paraphrasing it, it reminds us that as we worship him and we seek his face, we will hear his voice and his direction, his orders for our steps. And as we be still long enough, he will show us his divine will. And suddenly, this is how I love about him. Suddenly, I'm trying to find my time here because I know I'm really going on. I want to make sure, Lord, everything. Suddenly, he whispers. And, and what he'll do, he'll say, I want you to go this way. Walk ye in it. Do that. When you turn to the right and when you turn to the left, and as you press your way to this way, I want to spiritually connect you to this person. I want to spiritually connect you to this situation. This is what Daddy God does for me. I don't know about you daily. And then you'll soon begin to embrace and you'll begin to witness and manifest the glory of the truths that Matthew 6:33 tells us. It says, seek ye first, yes, God, the kingdom of God and his righteousness. And all these things will be added unto you. But no, we want to seek the conversation with everybody else, see what everybody else is saying with a good word, and that's fine, on Facebook and social networks. But we're not getting in the presence of God. But there is another level that we must go to in order to connect, to protect the natural assignment that daddies want us to work for kingdom building, okay? So from my experience, I believe that among many things and in many ways that we can serve to draw God's people unto him, and for us to be able to see, in the spirit what this Absalom spirit might be doing in the midst of our ministries, I think that we can find these three specific factors that is very effective to connecting the people to your assignment, to seeing what God is calling you to do. I call them my TLC factors, okay? This is what I call them. And so the first one is transparency. One of the things I think is really, really hard, now this is a classroom, I pray you're taking notes, okay? One of the things I find very, very difficult for people to do is to keep up with me because I talk so fast, but please, thank God, this is on tape, you can rewind. But number one, transparency. See, transparency, this depicts the Christ-like character in you. That means you ain't hiding nothing. That's why I prefer to be single, because I don't want to try to tiptoe around what hell is doing. I want to go straight and hit the target. So hopefully it'll jerk that yoke off of your neck, or anyone that's being going through a challenge that he may send me to, or I may be ministering to, because there's nothing to hide. You have a spirit of integrity. People know that you have been challenged once, and now, I ain't scared of what you might try to think I'm at or where I'm at. I know where I'm at, and Daddy God knows where I'm at. As the song says, he knows my name. He knows where you are. He knows where you've been. He knows where you've been broken. He knows if you're humble or if you're prideful, and have you been delivered. He knows when are you seeking deliverance. He knows you're spiritually naked when you're talking. I don't want to preach. He knows that the things that you are naked that you think you're telling too much about, he got it covered, but yet it's taking the yoke off somebody's neck while you think you're telling naked things. I don't want to preach. He knows how to get you to be transparent. Why? Because you hunger and you thirst for truth. You're open. You have peace. You have trust. And you are simply free in our Daddy God. Because you already know that you are free, not just in your spirit, but in the natural flesh. Your flesh does not drive for the thing that you used to do no more. I don't want to preach. Anyway, number 2, in my TLC factor, is love. Okay, love covers a multitude of sin, okay? It's a blood covering. It's compassion. According to Galatians chapter 6, it's meeting the unconditional needs with unconditional love. People that's hard to love, people get on your nerves, people that's haters and fakers, and serving and sowing and hope in the lives of others. This is what it does. Number 3, it's a covenant. Now, this is the hardest part for us to understand. We seek to connect with people, but in this last day, you got to make sure you're discerning very keenly. I have my eyes on some people right now. I'm just paying attention to them. One thing we need to do is we need to watch each other, okay? You watch me, because in this last hour, we better watch and pray. You watch me, I watch you, you watch me in the spirit, so that we can discern and pray where there's a need or where there's weakness. And at the appointed time, Daddy God will allow us to speak to one another concerning those matters. But if you are in a covenant, that means kingdom connection, partnering. That means service collaboration. That means you are committed. You're sharing. You're not just talking it. You are walking it. You are coming. We are connected. You are serving. You are imparting. You are impacting. You are serving in the gospel truth. You are supporting my vision. I'm supporting yours as a visionary. You are spiritually and naturally volunteering, showing, praying, interceding. I don't want to preach. You are giving me spiritual counsel. You are mentoring me. You training me. You retreating with me. When we need to get together to do fun things, you are retreating my support when I'm down, when I'm low. When you see something, you are my covenant blessing. You are tithing. You are covering. Sunday, every naked thing that the devil may try to expose, that Daddy God say, not now. I ain't done yet. The iniquity is yet not full, that I may get glory out of this thing. Oh, my God, let me slow it down. How much more time I got? I got 3 minutes. Okay. So keys to spiritually connecting and protecting. You got to make sure that, number 1, you become consumed with spending intimate time with Daddy. According to Psalm 91, it tells us that, he that dwells in a secret place, okay? That means that you're going to abide under the shadow of the Almighty. You're there where he's covering you, okay? Then number 2, you're going to take personal responsibility to become spiritually connected to those that are going to be gatekeepers, those that are going to be on your team. You're connected. You're not trying to see what nobody else is doing. You just have a relationship. It's about me and you, because you're not going to ever have that fullness with everybody around you. So if you're not connected to me, and I'm not checking on you, you're not checking on me, and we're not making no kind of connection. I don't care if it's a text or a call or whatever. At some point, we need to be able to connect. So now we are spiritually connected, and I'm here to be that protection, and I'm here to stand the gap with where Daddy God tell me to intercede for you. So now I become a gatekeeper. This is very important that we understand when we connect to people. Don't say that you are connected to someone and that you're there standing with them, and you're not ever gatekeeping their life. You're not ever gatekeeping and looking over, making sure that nobody put their mouth on them and open their face trying to talk about them. I'm very, very cognizant and watchful about that. I watch your behavior. I watch to see what you're doing. But I'm praying that you will make it through. This is what we should be praying for one another, that we recover from the hell that's trying to hit us. I don't want to preach. Number 3, we need to be diligent to keep others and ourselves from grumbling and complaining, okay, and speaking words of death. This is going on in the middle of the church and at the altar. People are not really praying life over the people. They're speaking death from the ministry, from you. Get away from her. Let me show you how to get with me. Let me show you what God showed me. It's all about the flesh. So they're complaining. They're speaking words of death and not life. They're not building up the leader. They're pulling the leader down. They're dishonoring that person who they say they love, who they say they respect, that they honor. So rather than life over your assignment, they seeking death. Number 4, we want to keep a spirit of praise on our lips throughout our home and our ministry. I've been really what I call, I've been telling somebody I was doing what is called door dashing, and I call it the DoorDash grandma DoorDash. And so I had to constantly pray, and my granddaughter kept asking me, Grandma, what are you saying? Who are you talking to? Because this is what I do when she's not, no one's in the car with me anyway. But I knew because she was in the car with me and I was doing grandma DoorDash, taking up from here to there, I knew I had to pray. God, help me with the spirit. Help me with the thing that I see that's trying to rest up my granddaughter. Give me the opportunity to minister to her. And I was able to, once I kept challenging hell, let it know, you might as well move. I am about to pull this hell down and speak life back into my granddaughter. Her mind shall live. And we're in the hour right now that many of them are so weighed down. Many people who are in our family, you know, we got to look at praise on our lips. We got to, throughout the day, speak to those that are around us, give them strength. Those that are in ministry who are weary and well-doing, I don't want to preach. Oh, my God, we got so many who's just spending out of their own pocket, their house note, their car note, their children's school, college money to try to keep the church alive because those who keeping their money in their pocket. And many of them have right well to go on and move somewhere else because a whole lot of the churches are not raising up the people where they need to be. They're not even creating them to become, teaching them to become a disciple leader, meaning you're going to teach me how to now create disciples so I can bring them to the church. You got me stifled. You got me sitting here, and you know the oil on my life, but you want to keep me here. You want to keep the money right here, and I'm trying to make sure that I sow here, but I ain't growing here. I don't want to. Oh, Lord. Slow down, Sandy. Okay. Anyway, we got to get planted somewhere. So you got to make sure you use wisdom and pray. Number 5. We got to discern ministry works and relationships that break your focus, okay, from your assignment. Many of you got Absalom relationships and Jezebels around you, and a lot of witchcraft that's going on right among people who say they love you, who say they respect you. I talk about that in my new book, Friendly Witchery. You know, we got to understand these people are close to us, and many of them are practicing because they've been so hurt, they've been so wounded, they don't trust nobody. And we need to understand that this is something we all have graduated from. We can't lie and say, oh, I don't understand how they do that. They love God in their heart. No, come on now. Don't get so super spiritual to think that you ain't even now trying to call me out my name or sick of hearing me. You know, here she go again. You know, it's still something in your heart, in your mind that still needs to be regulated back to Holy Spirit. So we need to constantly know that we need to stay on the altar, ask God to help us, as I said from the very beginning, those things and those thoughts, those so easy to beset us, Lord. But we need to break from relationships that take us off focus, okay, that they take us from our assignment because they're going to get you to try to get off because they see where you're headed. The devil already know where you're headed, so he plant these people in your life to make it look like they love you, they support you so much, to get you off. Number 6, break relationships that do not spiritually impact or impart growth and development for kingdom building. I said that early on. You got to break them off. We're going to 2020. You better have a 2020 vision. I mean, your eyes better see better come 2020 and not just wait. You need to see better now. And I pray that some of these classes that I've been doing is going to give you some impact in some ways. You to see that you've got to see in the spirit now. You got to discern now. You can't wait to say when 2020 comes. We need to have 2020 vision a long time ago. We need to break relationships. You need to see that they are not making an impact. They are not imparting. You are not developing. You are not growing. You just stuck. Lord, help me today. Anyway, number 7, you need to pursue and invest time into relationships that will impact your assignment, both spiritually and naturally. So that means don't hang around vainglory people that's got all these bling-blings. That's all they think about, the fine house, the fine car, and the big edifices, churches. You know, we need to look at the things that people who are really trying to do to build kingdom. These things are nice, and God bless all those who are hungry and thirsty for them and that have them. I have no jealousy and glad for you. Done that, been there, done that, and had that. My thing right now is to make sure that I build souls for kingdom. Draw in the people so I can get the hell out there next and see what Daddy wants me to do. We need to move from these people who are vainglory, programmatic type of mentality, prideful people who want you to be a part of all these gospel and social cliques, spirits that leap around with familiar spirits. Here we are, before you know it, they got you captivated again, and you're right back in that circle thinking that you're living large and you're on these large platforms and you're going somewhere, you're going nowhere fast. Like they say, speaking loud and saying nothing. Lord, help me today. Seek to connect your assignment with others who will take your ministry to another dimension by developing this love circle, within the list of people. You need to look at who really love you, and see how you can grow and serve each other. Don't keep hanging around people, within yourself. You just smoothly, like they say, just do the ghost on them and love them right where they at. But don't connect with them. Just let them go on, because it's too late to play. Just bye. That's where I'm at. That's what I kept telling my granddaughter when she used to call me. Just remember these two letters, B-Y. You don't even have to put no E on it. B-Y. Just bye. Because it's too late. But anyway, number 9, seek to connect and submit to the right ministerial covering. Many of you don't want to seek connecting on my ministerial covering because many of you like to feed on religiosity. Many of you want to feed on how big the church is. Many of you want to feed on how they hollering and hooping and got one finger behind their ear and got throwing a rag on their shoulder when they get out like James Brown. It's too late. We need to feed on what Holy Spirit is saying in the hour. We need to feed on what they are feeding in your spirit and making your baby leap and making your baby go and go ye therefore. And so we need to make sure that your ministry is being fertilized in your assignment. Your covering should be spiritually qualified first, number 1, to even intercede for you. Many of you are connected people, they don't even qualify in the spirit realm. Many people, and I taught the lesson on the different levels of pastoralship. Many of you are with people they're not even evangelical, and you're an evangelist. Maybe God bring you to the church to teach them evangelical, but many of them don't want to hear it. So why are you still there? Oh, God. So your assignment and your family, you need to think about disconnecting from people who do not, have even a connection to their own family or their own pastor, or they're not submitted to anybody to have any accountability. All they want is somebody that's going to be a yes man or no and a yes ma'am to them, or they agree with everything they say for religiosity's sake or for money's sake, whatever that is. You need to make sure that you are connected to the right vine. Number 10, seek God daily about the plans and purposes of your assignment. Talk to him daily. I constantly talk to him about the things he's shown me in dreams. We need to ask him to lead us to who, to where, and to how, and to stay focused, on this assignment. Make sure that all your godly works that you're doing are in time and season. Make sure that they're done. And there's many things that he's giving me to do, but it ain't the season for him. He's giving me creations and designs to do things, and even books in my belly. I got an envelope full of books that I need to write. Oh, you think I'm going to write them right now? No, because I know that when I write them, it's going to be the time. It's going to be the season. So all godly works, remember, ain't God. It ain't God, meaning ain't God's time. Some are self-service work. Some are vainglory work. So be very, very careful that you seek God about all the plans and sets of those purposes that you think that God wants you to do for 2020. Number 11, remove veils of shame. Here we go. Lord, this is going a little bit longer, but I got to get this out because I'm not going to be able to come back with this here part because I got to get back on this other part that I need to show y'all in regards to this altar of these ruling spirits as I go on about your intercessory teams. Now, we got to make sure we understand the intercession versus the intercession team and those who are actually praying at the altar. I want to get into that a little bit later on so I can share about that. But number 11, we got to remove veils, okay? Because many of the people that are at the altar have a lot of veils. We got to remove pride. Many of them are very prideful. They get mad if you don't call them up to get in the line. Just crazy stuff. So we need to look at it. When I say crazy, I mean it just doesn't make any sensible type of mentality. I'll go and say that then. But pride, okay, concerning the sins that so easily beset us, that's what I'm getting at. It's there. So seek counsel. You need to seek anointed, Bible-based, counselors or mentors who would not condemn you, but they will nurture your hurts. And they'll make sure they look at what they need to get you and advise you for you to look at these mistakes, for you to look at the things that keep drawing you back to the vomit. That keeps calling you to be angry, keep calling you to be disrespectful and dishonorable. These things we need to talk about. Some people on this, listen to me, have suffered from PTSD and so many different rams from hell. They think everybody is the same. They think everybody is a hater. They think everybody is doing something to them. When actually all it is you never dealt with the thing that hurt you in the very beginning. So you want to put everybody's face on that thing. But Proverbs 11:14 says, where no counsel is, the people are going to fall. But in a multitude of counsel, there's safety. Get the help you need so you can quit hurting people with the proper lying and playing around, trying to look super spiritual, or dealing with stuff that you think you're moving in the spirit, and you're moving in familiar spirit. You're moving in these spirits of feeling like you want to just be noticed. Lord, I got to go. Number 12. You need to seek time to study your assignment, okay? Many of you don't really know where God has shifted you to. Many of you have already been shifted, or that is transitioned, I like to use that word, to a whole nother assignment. Many of you may need to be assessed, spiritually to see what God has done. Get with somebody who is a seer, get with a prophet, so you can listen and see and hear God through them. Like I was telling them this morning, God cannot impart or allow something to transfer like Elijah and Elijah until you humble yourself. If you think you got it all already, you're not going to get anything extra. I never in my life seen even pastors and leaders who will not go get no additional education. This is the reason why you're not growing. So I pray that you hear me out. You can put a thumbs down, do whatever you want, because the word's going to go forth, and righteousness in what God is saying, I know is right now all day long. We've got to continue education and kingdom building, because they say the word is all we need. Well, what happened to the natural realm? You got to fight hell in the natural. You got to understand that we have to balance ourselves. I said that earlier on. So you need to maintain your education. You need to seek time to study your assignment. You need to look what's going to be required of you now based on what you was doing. It's going to cost you more time. It's going to cost you more money. It's going to cost you even letting some people go from you so you can see what God is trying to get you to cut off so the vine can grow. So what is needed of you from others, you got to see what God wants you to do with this one or that one to get to the next level or the next dimension. So that means it's going to cost you to shut in. Yes, it is. It's going to cost you to put your plate down. And like I told people all the time, it ain't all the time just dealing with the fasting with the food. I always say fast on the hell, fast on the strong man, fast on the thing that so easily beset you, like lying and hating and talking against people and all that. Fast on that hell. Lord, I don't want to preach. But anyway, pray and refresh and receive impartation. Retreat yourself out. Do just take a sabbatical. Go somewhere and sit down. I had to go somewhere and sit down as I was being challenged last week. And this is why I got ignited and endowed even now to talk to you about the Absalom spirit that's there. They're there to supersede. These spirits, they switch spaces. They're like a what they call a python. They're like these snakes that they grow and they turn different shapes and colors. And they turn around and they want to monitor you. We talk about that, how they want to monitor you and watch you, but they're not going to win. And so that's why you have to spend the time to receive the impartation and to hear God about the next order, the next soldier marching orders for your assignment. Anyway, I'm going to get off. I think I've been on too long. I pray this has blessed you. We'll talk next week as I get into more about intercessors and things like that, a little bit more in depth. So you that are having those on the altar and those that are in the intercessory team or have team partners or people that are praying with you and people that want to fake like they are praying with you, you'll be able to discern it and start praying and know how God wants you to pray for them so they will come out. Now, one of the assignments I want to give you for this class, I want you to take time to pray about at least 3 to 10 people that you know that God will spiritually connect you with so that you can have the impact, so you can have the mentorship, so you can have life in your ministry, so you can grow, and so that you can see, where is God trying to commit me to? Where is God trying to get me planted to? Where is God trying to get me in? Who does God want me to be able to get with before I won't fall, so that I won't fall, so that my mind won't get overworked, so I won't be doing things, these vainglory works. I know I'm talking to somebody. So anyway, I got to get off here. I pray that you use this time to jot those people down to see who they are for personal life and your ministry life, for those who are praying for you so you can have accountability and all that too. I got to go. I love you so much. I pray this has helped you for this reckless classroom. I ain't playing with the devil. Please share this. Love you so much.